Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your November forecast. We had a little problem with the audio last month. Oopsie, but it should be all good and well now this month. So let's take a look at what's going on for you here in November, and your main goal is right up here in the 10th house, okay? That is the sun passing through this area of your career in the sign of Scorpio, which is very passionate. This is you really focusing on those things that you're really wanting to obtain, that you've been working towards these last several months, now coming to focus. So not only is the sun passing through here, but the delight of the month is that you have the new moon in this area, 23 degrees in Scorpio, November 15th. You want to put that on your calendar, and why is that? Well, as you know, the new moon is always when we place our intentions, and for you, not only the power of manifestation, right? Because we can put our intentions anywhere, but it can take longer for the universe to manifest it for you unless you know where that new moon is. That carries that much more gravity. So what should your priorities be in your intentions this month? Well, it should be about your work, your goals, what it is on the highest level of achievement is where you should now place it. When it comes to finance, romance, anything else that you can find around the chart, you want to wait for that until the appropriate time to really make that priority intentions, but you can have them as secondary, third, and whatnot, of course. But it will take longer for that to come into manifestation. So right now, think about where is it you see yourself, not only in this coming month. A lot of people think that power of the new moon will only linger for a month until the next new moon, but it's not so. This new moon, what you plant now, November 15th, will manifest for you throughout the next 12 months in all of these areas. See how powerful it is? And so, yes, do your job, make it work for you, and then comment down below when it starts trickling in for you, when you get these really manifestations, because it is the most fascinating thing, right? So while we're talking about the moons, let's jump over to the full moon, November 30th, for you, 8 degrees in Gemini. And of course, the new moon, the full moons is always where we harvest now in the current month. Things that you intended months ago might now just manifest in the area of your self-expression, your creativity, those things that you really love to do. It's also the area of your children, younger people, and so forth, but also the hobbies and the leisures that you like to do. So November 30th could be a great month, a great time in the month to harvest. Okay, so look forward to that. The full moon always illuminates for us and brings to the surface those things. So Mercury is retrograde still. It went retrograde there in October, and if you're listening to this forecast on the October end, you know that your Mercury is still retrograde, and for you it's showing up here in the 9th house. And of course, whenever we have retrograde, things go a little slower. There might be misunderstandings, miscommunications, and especially since it's the 9th house, it might even show up for those of you who are thinking you're wanting to travel now at this time. So you might find that, you're just going to have to put some patience in there. But do make sure that any important communication that you have, that you're making sure that they're listening, that they're really hearing what you're saying, and vice versa, that we are hearing what other people are saying. Just so we don't have to go down and redo, retweak, especially on any contracts that we might sign. And since the 9th house also rules the area of legalities, for those of you having any suits out there, legal suits, you might find that there might be not just a delay, but there might be certain things in the print that might not hold up to where it is you're wanting it. So read through it and make sure that you have before you sign anything. But Venus is here to support you. Venus is also in the 9th house, and It's beautiful. It's in the sign of Libra, upon which Venus rules. So it's kind of like a double whammy. And we know that Venus rules love, romance, anything of beauty, the arts, that kind of thing. Fine music and wine and clothing, fashion. Yes. So, you might be, since it's in an area of research, you might this month be researching areas that Venus rules under, right? So there could be you signing up for a course. That could be within design and fashion, or if it's in expression and speaking, you might give a lot of more love into it, and that will come across to your audience as well, their Aquarius. As Venus is moving direct, you will have no problem this month in expressing those emotions and bringing it out to the crowds, right? So we love that. Mars, though, is still retrograde, and Mars is our dynamic energy. It's our primus motor, right? Down here in, let me see where it is for you, third house. That's where you can expect a little delay and confusion and so forth, because third house is all about how you present yourself out to the world. If you have any major presentations this month, make sure that your research is done, all wrapped up before you go, just so you don't encounter any of those hiccups that the retrograde can give you. The good news is, though, is that Mars now is going to go direct, as you see down here below, on November 14th. And since Mars rules our energy, you might have felt a little sluggish, a little slow, or maybe not as motivated here these last couple of months while Mars has been in this position. If it's not moving forward and moving backward, we might feel that our energy has been pulling backward, and we might not have been having all that energy to be up and about. Third house loves to move around, take those little road trips, and be a little active between here and our neighbors and to and fro our siblings, which also this area is all about, right? But you'll see how that can pick up here now in from mid-November onwards. Always want to give it a little extra time, don't we? Because from having moved backwards and into it moves forward again, there's a little time period where it's kind of just moving extra slow, and then it will pick up. This Mars retrograde in Aries, I got to tell you though, normally Mars moves through each and every of these signs every 6 weeks. Boom, 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 boom. So throughout the course of 2 years, it takes 2 years to go around the chart once. Say for every 6 weeks, we will have a motion through these areas of our chart where Mars can express itself and pick up and do and accomplish, but it's been stuck here and will be stuck for a period of 6 months. That's a long time, right? And but it being in the sign of Aries, and Aries is the ruler, or should I say Mars is the ruler of Aries, that gives it a double whammy energy. So within you, in your consciousness, this Mars is wanting to perform. It's wanting to initiate. It's wanting to not necessarily compete, but we can see that too. But to move ahead and be a number one person. It's that energy saying, I will, I want to, right? And so it could have been extra frustrating. We can't blame this on Corona, though of course it's a big part of the mix, isn't it? But feeling like you've been held back from getting to where you're wanting to go and achieve, yeah, that has been frustrating. So that is Mars, okay? That is the reason why things have been held back in your physical self. But watch that take up now new energy from mid-month, and especially from December onwards, okay? It will still be here until into January. But let's move on from Mars. What do we have here? This is that whole stellium that's been working for you, Aquarius, which I would call more so the lockdown and the slowdown of 2020. This is where we find it in the sign of Capricorn. Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. The good news is that they're all up and running. They're moving forward. You'll start seeing, feeling, and experiencing how these energies are going to be awakening and where you can take them out to the world again. But for you, of all the zodiac signs, it's been working in your 12th house. And this area is more the subconscious, behind the veil, so I'm thinking that even though we have had social distancing, even though we haven't been able to be out and about, go to the restaurants, do what we want, right? You have been using this to your benefit, and you will see just how much this is going to expand into your reality in 2021. We'll have both Jupiter and Saturn moving across the ascendants right here into the first house, which is you, your personality. So if you've been working behind the scenes with anything that is like secretive for a reason that you haven't been sharing, maybe with your competitors, whatever it is, you'll be ready to present that out to the world. And I think not only are you going to be quite surprised and astonished, but so will everybody else around you. We'll see how you have come to use this time, which other people found extremely difficult to get through, right? You used it very creatively to your own advantage, so that could be a part of the work that you're doing, whatever it is for you individually. I can only see your collective chart right here. But yeah, I think you have a lot to look forward to in 21 because of these challenges this year has been giving you. Jupiter's all about expansion. Think about the planet. It's the largest one in the solar system. It brings a lot of abundance, right? It really wants to think big, act big, take everything out big. And Pluto's all about transformation, letting go of the old, purging that old, what no longer needs to be with us, even though it might have behooved us in the past, whatever those patterns were, they may not pertain to who you are today. So I could see how you've been working really well at flushing that out, while Saturn here is all about mastery, mastering who you are, getting in control of that subconsciousness, laying down that foundation, because that's what Saturn does best. It builds. Every 28 years it goes around the chart once, right? And what Saturn has been doing for you the last year and a half, 2 years, is building a very new solid structure and foundation for you, which you're going to be bringing with you into the future. When it crosses your ascendants here, you, Aquarius, are starting off on a 28 New Year cycle. And right now, it's all about completion. Where you've been these last 28, 29 years. What did you build last time Saturn was on your ascendants? You've worked all these years to accomplish. You're looking at the fruits, harvesting those, but also eliminating those patterns no longer important because you are cycling up to a new height. And you're going to take those traits from everything you've learned, everything you've mastered, right? With Saturn here, you're going to bring that now into this new pattern. So it's a super important cycle for all of you, Aquarius, at this point. So make the best and most use of it while you have it for this little short time. But of course, we're going to be talking more about this in the oncoming months. So you do want to follow up and listen what next month, December, is bringing, and not to mention when we get into 2021, right? So I'll see you for those readings. But moving right along, we do have Uranus is going to bring some news to us this month. It has also been backtracking, retrograding the last 4 or 5 months in your area of the 4th house, right down here. And the 4th house, this area is all about you on the inside, your foundation, your family, anything that you are building and creating to sustain you, both for now and into the future. Well, Uranus is changing up that a lot. And for you, having Taurus in your 4th house means that you're somebody who really likes to have a lot of security, financial security as well, but also family ties and whatnot. And you might have felt ever since Uranus moved into this area some time ago that things are uprooting. Things that you were accustomed to is uprooting. Uranus does that to create change. Sometimes when we decide that we want change, we're in control of it, and it's all good. Sometimes the universe decides it for you. If you're not wanting change or resisting change, and you actually do need change, then the universe will kick in, create that change out of the blue like a lightning bolt, and we go, oh my God, what's happening? We're losing control. That's how we can feel. If you're feeling that, bless it and know that it's all for the higher good. Sometimes it won't be visible in your life before sometime down the road, but embrace it. Right now, these last few months, Uranus has been asking you to look to the inner foundation of your life. What is important? You know, Uranus is also very, very spiritual. So you might feel that your outlook to life is changing. It's not just that 3D version of hands-on, but spirituality, intuition, those things, inspiration is now coming to you in a different way. And that's the upside of Uranus. So if you can recognize that, you will see that your journey with this over the next, probably 5, 6, 7 years will be that much easier for you. But foundations are changing, and this Uranus is now going to start going direct on November 29th. So, you know, when it's been retrograde, it's given us extended time to look back over the changes that has been. Were they good? Were they not good? Right? And to find peace with it and to open up for new energy that now is coming, where hopefully you'll be ahead of the game, making the choices yourself, because then we feel more in control, you know, when the universe doesn't have to do it for us, right? Neptune, well, has been here for a long time. It's moved more than halfway through the sign of Pisces, here at 18 degrees. And the second house, this area is all about your financial income and security. And the best way for you in the oncoming years is to work with those things, not just that you're passionate about, but where you have vision, where you can create, right? Humanitarian, a lot of humanitarian energy comes through the Piscean energy, at which Neptune rules. So right here for you, we got like a double whammy thing. So when you can align your work, your income, the way to make money is through service of giving and sharing, right? Helping and aiding. And you are very much a humanitarian in and of yourself, too. You're like the big brother, big sister for everyone else, right? So that is where you can really come to find success. Neptune is working in this higher region into your subconsciousness, trying to inspire you. How can I create a larger vision of what I see that can help humanity? You're that part of that group that is bringing this forward at this time. And it's going to last for quite a few years still. And you're the ones, Aquarius, right? So I'll be excited to see, what are you working on? You might leave a comment. Let me know. What is your grand visions? It would be fun for the other Aquarians to also read what you have to say about that. So there we have it. We got Pluto here. Pluto, of course, I just want to end with that. It is all transforming. You are transforming. You are becoming a new version of yourself, as if the old version of yourself up to this time, 2020, has already fulfilled its purpose on a certain level. This is why the motion of Pluto moves so slowly. So we have time to transform. Within that, you've had support of Jupiter, which is a beautiful planet, beautiful support to have, and Saturn, which has asked you to live up to the responsibility of those changes that are going on now. Because this new version of you, it is so new, right? It's going to be with you with the new 12-year cycle of Jupiter, new 28, 29-year cycle of Saturn. This new version of you, it's like embodying a new incarnation. While your consciousness from the past, what you have obtained, to this point in your life is still with you. You see how important that is. This is why I'm so super excited by 2021 coming up, seeing where we're all at. So all of you must listen to the New Year forecast that will be coming up shortly. You don't want to miss it, because it's definitely going to be pointing where you're going to be landing in 2021 after this cleanup that we've had here in 2020. So there we have it. Go listen to your moon, your rising sign, or your partner's forecast for this month and see where he or she is transforming. I think you'll get a kick out of that, because we need to see and understand each other as we mature together and move along as one, right? So listen, I will see you again next month. So have a good one now.